Parasite is named 2019's #1 grossing foreign language movie in the US. That is the headline on today's MBE Movie News.
Yes, John, Jun Ho's dramatic black comedy Parasite has nabbed the highest grossing US foreign film of 2019. It's made over $11 million in North America and overall $106 million worldwide, excluding obviously the United Kingdom.
Stephen, it's very, very impressive for all of the reasons they actually threw in this article. First and foremost, this movie hasn't even got a wide release in the United States yet. It's been slowly expanding over the last few weeks. I actually went through, sad git that I am, on Box Office Mojo through its week-to-week progress from when it opened up just over a month, I believe, ago, perhaps slightly more. It started off very, not very expansive, a very restricted release, and then it slowly expanded out. I think it's currently sitting at around 600 odd theatres over in the States, which is very restricted in the States. I think they usually have 3,000 to 4,000 theatres when it's a big wide release. So for it to now become the #1 foreign language movie of 2019 with that less than stellar release, it's very impressive, and I think it's just down to, as they do say in this article, amazing word of mouth. It's going back to the old days, John, where you're not getting hammered over the head with a whole array of promotional pushes and teaser trailers and trailers in general. It's just good word of mouth surrounding the trailer teasers in the case of Harley Quinn, the Fantabulous Emancipation, Birds of Prey. Steve, what's your thoughts on this movie as a whole? Is this heightening your anticipation for this movie anymore? Because the more I see people reviewing the movie, speaking about it, the more I look at the images and just look at the man's incredible back catalogue of work. It really is exciting me, this movie. I've seen Stockman speak about it. He says it's up there with The Lighthouse and The Irishman this year as the 3 primary pieces of art which made him feel like he was really consuming cinema. So that excites me when a man like that says that it's damn good. It's one of the top 3 movies of the year.
Overall, John, 2019 has been a pretty impressive year for cinema and film. But I mean, this film, just going back to your question, yes, the answer is it is exciting me. It has since we saw that first trailer, John. Word of mouth. It was word of mouth that pointed us in the right direction to do a trailer reaction in the first place. Never heard of the film until one of our kind subscribers mentioned it in the comment section, and we did the trailer reaction, John. Mightily impressed with what we saw. Mightily impressed with the shift in tone, which you don't normally get in a lot of teaser trailers. That's when I knew it was going to be a good film, because it roped me in from the start. Very serious. Well, I think it was more comedy at the start of it. It was very light-hearted.
There was a lot of dark comedy in there, and it was incredible, Stephen, how much of that was palpable through, obviously, the subtitles, because obviously it's a foreign language Korean movie. But through the subtitles, you got that sense of comedy, and that's something that's quite unique to be able to. The score as well
kind of gave it that impression as well, John. Those, I think it was like cellos or something. I don't know what the instrument is,
but string arrangements.
So I'm certainly looking forward to this, John. I know we're obviously we're piggybacking here once again here in the UK with everyone else talking about these great films, just like you said, The Lighthouse, The Irishman. Still haven't seen these because they're not out
most
yet.
People haven't seen them yet.
I'm certainly looking forward to this one now, John. The question back then when we did the teaser trailer, someone did mention, this should be up there. I think we actually headlined it as one of the films that should be up there for an Academy Award. I think at the time we both said I don't think it's going to be able to compete with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood or Joker, but it's early days, John.
Stephen, we actually did do a show, you're right. Will it get any love at the Oscars, I believe was the headline. And several people commented who had seen the movie and says it's the best movie they've seen in the year, the best movie they've seen in years, that they're big fans of Jun Ho's work, and that they would highly urge us to go and see it when we can, and that it absolutely does deserve some attention at the Oscars. They do go on to say that in the article, Stephen. It blew my mind when I read that there has not been a single Korean foreign language movie ever nominated at the Oscars.
Unreal.
They continually snub the movies. They says there was a notable one from last year, I do believe. I'm trying to find the name of it. It's not there. It's eluding me at the moment. But this one has won the Palme d'Or at Cannes Film Festival. That's great word of mouth. That's a very impressive box office performance in the States. It's taken over all over the world as well, Stephen. $100 million it's grossed worldwide for a relatively, I don't want to say small scale because I actually don't know the budget. It could have a very good budget, but in terms of the actual visuals and what we're seeing going on in the trailers, it looks like it could be a very small budget movie. It's set within this setting of, I want to say it's a ghetto in Seoul, or a Seoul, I never get that name right.
Seoul, yeah.
In Seoul. And obviously they're then transcending between this very rich setting, aristocratic setting if you like, piggybacking off of their richness. There's that thing going on there, the dynamic between the two families. It's very difficult to speak about it if I've not seen the movie. But it strikes me as a low budget movie, so for it to gross $100 million overall worldwide,
John, I think as well,
incredible.
It does say in the article, to be fair, you know, that and we kind of got a sample of it in the trailer, but it does say there's a whole range of emotions in this film, and the emotions go very quickly in it, so I think it's going to be one of these films that's going to have you, you know, it's going to affect you mentally as well. So
Stephen, I think you will connect with this family without having seen it. Just what I get from just still images alone. There was a great article said, if can you guess the story off of 10 still images? I went in and looked at it, and I got a real sense just from the still images. So that's an incredible thing when you have created such a rich setting with rich characters that you really connect with, that you can actually pick up on it through still images, and that's something I certainly get. This family living in this tiny little confined environment, and then they're obviously mixing with this very rich family. It's two different worlds. It's satire about obviously class and separating people, just this continual gap. That's something we know about well in the United Kingdom. We have traditionally had 3 class systems and they don't really meet or mingle. So obviously it's on steroids over in Korea, and so I cannot wait, Stephen, to see it, and I cannot wait to see how it subsequently performs at the Oscars. I think it will absolutely be nominated for a Best Foreign Film nomination. I think it will probably win based on the word of mouth and the success, and just it feels like it's deserved. It feels like this director's incredible from what I've heard, and he thoroughly deserves it. Will it get nominated for a Best Picture? I would like to see it. I would like to think it would.
I would certainly, but I think it's definitely, John, from what we've read so far, it definitely will be in the foreign category.
Do you normally get 6? I think it's between, I think you can nominate up to, I believe, 8, I want to say, maybe more, but it's usually, I think, 6 Best Picture nominations. Right off the bat, I would put Joker in there, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I would put in The Irishman, having not even seen it, just from what I've heard. That seems to be striking a bell with most people who have watched it. The Lighthouse may get in there. I think there's room for Parasite. I think it deserves it.
Ad Astra as well, John.
Ad Astra, I don't know if that will get nominated. I don't think so. I enjoyed it, but it's not in the calibre of these movies. I think Parasite deserves some limelight shone upon it, and I hope it gets it.
I certainly hope so, John, just because it would be a first. But certainly for the foreign film category, that'll certainly be in amongst.
I've not seen any of the competition, but I think this is the clear favourite.
But when you get those vibes, John, for a film that's not even been released over here, we know all about this film. Everyone's talking about it in the UK.
It will be disgraceful if it gets snubbed. Quite frankly, it will be disgraceful, and then it will confirm that there's some sort of agenda with the Academy and towards Korean movies. So I hope it doesn't get snubbed.
Right, we'll move on anyway, John, before we get down that
was
rabbit
incredible.
hole.
We managed to stretch that out for 10 minutes, Stephen, and we haven't seen the movie.
Well, that's because we're excited about it, John. But here's a film we weren't excited about because we didn't like the look of this little blue chap. But we do like the look of this little blue chap now because he looks like Sonic the Hedgehog. It's one image shows just how much better Sonic's redesign is. Sonic there holding one of these golden rings. This is they've obviously redone the character, John, after a fan backlash. The directors came out and admitted, he made a boob. Hats off to the director, for obviously putting his hands up, saying that made a mistake here. So the redesign, obviously, for the main character has came out, John. We're getting some stills, obviously, through social media today as well. Jim Carrey. I can't remember the character's name off the top of my head.
I don't know.
Listen, it doesn't matter.
It's been a while since I played Sonic the Hedgehog.
It doesn't matter anyway, John, because obviously I think James Marsden is in the film as well.
Dr. Eggman.
That's it. What's your thoughts on this anyway, John? The redesign of this character, is this the Sonic you know and love from yesteryear?
Absolutely, Stephen. They have finally got the visuals right. I'm so impressed by the director having the foresight to go back to the drawing board, essentially, redesign it, take on board all of the criticism, harness all of the ill, I don't want to say ill will, but the criticisms and the feedback from the fans through social media and various different spheres online. He's not taken it to heart. He's went back and he's changed it, and I think it's really improved the movie visually, aesthetically, whatever the hell you want to call it.
Yeah.
And I'm impressed by this version that we've got now. I think it looks more like the Sonic that I grew up playing games with, him being the titular character. I don't know how much it's going to add to the movie in terms of the actual story. I don't think it will change anything in terms of the meat and bones of the movie, but aesthetically it looks so much better. It doesn't look like this freaky little Furby human character with human teeth and terribly small eyes, and the green. They've even changed the greenness and the iris within the eye, and that was one of the major criticisms from, I believe it was,
as well.
Yes, the Detective Pikachu. I'm thinking about Dr. Eggman. The Detective Pikachu, Pokemon.
Dr. Robotnik. John.
Yeah, no, Robotnik. Yeah, I don't know where I get Eggman from, but yeah, I digress. It was in the actual cast listing, so they're wrong. But this the guy from Pokemon, the Detective Pikachu. The actual cinematographer guy that dealt with the visual effects, he says that the colour of the eyes were wrong as well. They were too saturated for the surroundings. It didn't work. Blue was terrible to work with in terms of digital effects. It was all shot
as well.
Yeah, it was all shot in digital. So it was just a complete clusterfuck, Stephen, if I'm allowed to swear there. I don't think it matters. We don't earn money at the moment. YouTube won't do anything about it. I would say that it looks less realistic, the effects. It doesn't look as hairy and palpable in terms of its realness, but it looks better.
It looks like Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, it's a cartoon character, and you go cartoon when you're creating a cartoon character.
This is the beauty of social media. Sometimes it does obviously work for the fans' benefit here. Obviously, the fans, everyone that loves Sonic the Hedgehog, have got a voice on social media, and obviously the director's mature enough to take the criticism and rethink what they're going to do. If only they had this back in 1999 with that horrendous Yoda puppet for the Phantom Menace that did not look anything like Yoda. The problem was with that, they had all this production crew didn't have, not one of them had the bottle to turn around to George Lucas and say, "That's not Yoda." That's not Yoda.
That's Yado.
That's some, fraudster. But thankfully, digital, obviously sorted it out digitally for the release of the Blu-rays or whenever it was, John. It might have been the 2004's DVD version, actually.
Was it that long? Jesus Christ.
It could have been, John. It could have been.
Wow.
But it was long enough. There was about 5 years of that horrible Yoda.
Puppet.
I've still got the DVD of that one, so I've still got it in the old memory there. So
I don't want to see that.
So this is, just going back to this, John, but I think, it takes a brave man to admit they're wrong, especially a director. Directors don't normally come out and say when they're wrong about things. I've seen it very, lately with certain directors that won't just shut up about a certain Star Wars film, keeps going onto social media to attack fans. But
the round-headed chat.
Maybe they should.
Not my words, but the words
maybe
of
they should
some
redesign his head, but give him some blue hair. But listen, John, I'm glad to see that the old Sonic's back. This is the Sonic I remember from the Sega days when I used to play it when I lived with my mum and dad. Played it on the old Mega Drive, loved it. Actually, preferred it to Mario, believe it or not, just for the sheer entertainment, the speed of the game as well. It was probably one of the fastest games. I remember there was one of these epilepsy warnings as well. It was one of the first games that came with a warning for that kind of condition because of the flashing graphics and the speed of the game as well. So I've got fond memories of the characters. I'll be looking forward to seeing this film.
Stephen, I will actually go and watch the movie just to support it because of what the director's done. Jim Carrey as well, but because Jeff Fowler has had the foresight to go back, listen to the fan feedback, say, look, it's not right, we've made a complete arse of it, let's go back to the drawing board and do it right this time. They've delayed it from, I believe, a November release slot to, I think, early February next year. That's perhaps not the best release date for this movie in terms of trying to capture key graphics. If they could have had this going into the Christmas period, it could have grossed a lot more money. But I will definitely be on board for going to give it a watch now because of that. I feel like you have to reward braveness like that. And
I think probably with the release of Frozen 2 as well, it probably wasn't a good idea for us.
No, it probably wasn't. Yeah, you're right, Stephen. There was no good time to release a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, and truthful. I don't feel like it's something anyone was ever really wanting. I don't feel like it's a character that's transcended the eras, if you like. It's very much stuck in the 1990s. I recall playing it when I was a young guy. I had no real desire to see a Sonic the Hedgehog movie, but because of Jeff Fowler's braveness and his decision to go back, I will go and reward it with my hard-earned cash. As you did say, the great Jim Carrey seems to be possessing Ace Ventura. He's gone back to the early 1990s with this character, the over-the-top, exuberant acting. He looks incredible in it, but in terms of the humour, it does feel very much of a 1990s ilk. That's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I love the likes of, as I did say, Ace Ventura. And just those great Jim Carrey 90s comedy movies. But look, Stephen, I'm getting distracted by the incredible creaking that's going on out there. Yeah. That's screwing with me. Final thing I will say on the matter is, I'm reading here, the production team admitted that they wanted to create a more realistic version of Sonic with a human-like physique so that it would feel more at home in our world. What were they thinking? Well, that is not what anybody who's a fan of Sonic or anybody that watches these movies wants. They don't want a humanoid, more realistic Sonic. He's a blue hedgehog.
You want Sonic, yeah.
He's a blue hedgehog.
You want Sonic to look like Sonic.
Yeah.
Not like a realistic, lanky blue hedgehog, which isn't real.
But they've sorted it, so fair play to them.
Yeah, well, I was going to just say that, John, just before we move on.
And it's Dr. Ivo Eggman Robotnik, by the way.
That's his middle name. A
nickname.
Hats off to the director, because he acted on this quickly as well, John. He could have sat on this for a while, had board meetings, etc., etc. They didn't. They realised their muck up and they got on with it. So
and
hats off to them.
Yeah,
we'll move on to our final article, John. This is one that I'm pretty sure you'll have your soapbox ready for this one. It's Disney Plus features a warning on some of its older content with outdated cultural depictions. Now, this is obviously going back to all the old Disney stuff from yesteryear when people were less offended. I'm not saying the stuff in there, John, is probably... isn't offensive nowadays. Obviously it is. You've only got to look at the reruns of Friends on Netflix, John. The millennials take offence to Joey being an absolute creep. So, going a bit far.
Nothing wrong with Joey. She's just a red-blooded male.
But listen, John, you can't have that now.
You can't have that now. Listen, can't have males being attracted to females. Good God,
it's something that's not new, to be fair. Reruns of Only Fools and Horses are actually cutting bits out now, John, when it refers to little newsagent shops and stuff like that. So, and certain takeaways. So, I get it.
And a poo get cut out of The Simpsons. So
yeah, I know. So
it's happening.
It is happening. It's certainly happening here because Disney are obviously want to make sure that people know this isn't us anymore. This was us back in the day. But it's there now. We can't do anything about it. It's part of our history, and it's part of their history.
Oh yeah.
But so, what's your thoughts on this anyway, John? Do we really need a warning for this? Are people that sensitive?
We do. Stephen, we do. This is a snowflake era.
Yeah.
You were speaking about social media and the good things that can come from social media.
But I think, John, before we go any further, we're not saying it's right. We're not saying it's wrong.
No, Stephen. Absolutely, what is evident in these early movies, these animated movies like Dumbo and whatnot, incredibly racist. Undertones. I was about to say overtones, but it's probably overtones as well because we weren't even trying to hide it.
No.
Incredibly racist and stereotypical to the absolute extreme. There is no place for that in 2019, the 21st century. There was no place for it back then as well, but sadly, the world was different back then. Racist and ideologies and whatnot were there, and they were openly expressed in certain quarters in the States, probably more so than anywhere else. Over here as well, but they're more closet with their racist ideologies over here. They hide in the shadows and put a facade over it, whereas over in the States they're more in your face and they just don't even hide it. I don't think there is any need for it personally for me, because I am aware of the history of Disney and Walt Disney in particular, and in some of the things going on in these early animated movies. So I personally don't need it. I personally won't be going back to watch the likes of Dumbo anyway, so it'll never be an issue for me.
No.
But I think they have to cover themselves with
That's
that
what they're doing,
element of social media, who are just getting butt-hurt over absolutely everything, cultural appropriation, the lot, you name it. If they go back and stumble upon this, have not seen Dumbo or maybe some other slightly racist undertone, sort of a heavy movie from the 1950s or 30s, if they stumble upon that and they've not seen it and they get their mitts on these goddamn characters, I mean, I think it's ducks or something in Dumbo, they will have an absolute field day with that, Stephen. So I think it's Disney essentially covering their backsides, their asses, if you like, as they'd say in the States.
You can imagine the meetings they had in the board.
Oh, yeah.
You know, when they were obviously come to the conclusion
Bob
that
Iger would have been
back catalogue. He must have been cringing.
Yeah, he must have been sitting in the corner with his hands in his head, in his hands, just crying.
Yeah,
what the hell are we going to do?
Yeah.
What was Walt thinking? Why is he cryogenically frozen his head? He should just let it go and drift off into the other real eternity of whatever the hell you go to when you die. Because there's no reason for that guy to come back at any point. If they can reanimate cryogenically frozen severed heads, he is surely not going to come back. His ideas are well and truly gone and they should never be revived. Look, Stephen, I am gibbering away here. Can you tell I've had about 7 hours sleep and I've been very, very busy today. I'm looking forward to getting into Disney Plus. Yeah. I'm really looking forward to getting my teeth into mostly the new stuff, like The Mandalorian and all of these great MCU shows. Some of the great TV stuff we're going to have, like The Lady and the Tramp, the redone classic. Yeah. I will not really be getting back to this, but it's nice to see Disney acknowledge that it was wrong with some of the things that were happening back in the day, and that they are putting this disclaimer up just so they can cover themselves, but also warn people if they're particularly fragile.
Sensitive,
that they don't want to begin in and consume it because it will get them upset.
Yeah.
All in all, though, I've not got much more to add.
No.
It's very short and sweet. I'm going to round the show up on that, unless you have anything else to say.
No. I'll look forward to Disney Plus when it comes around.
Will you be watching Dumbo? No. There you go. It's not. Well, Stephen actually say that in the article as well. Before I finish it, they're firing this on all of the older content, whether it has any racial undertones or, obviously, as they do say, what is the exact word? Outdated cultural depictions. Not all of them have it. It's just a select few, but they're putting it on all of them. So
it's a perfect description, though, John.
Yeah, it is outdated cultural depictions. There's no doubt about it. It's just unacceptable. But look, Stephen, I'm going to round the show up. I've said my bit on it. What do you guys make of Parasite? Have you seen it? Are you one of the lucky gits who's perhaps pirated it or even been able to go into a theatre and watch it legit? What's your thoughts on it? Do you think it deserves to be the highest grossing box office movie or whatever the hell that even means in the States? What do you make of this new redesigned Sonic the Hedgehog aesthetic? What's your thoughts on it? What's your thoughts on Disney Plus as well on this outdated cultural depictions disclaimer? Does it offend you? Do you give a damn? If you've got anything to say, comment below and let us know what your thoughts are down below in the comment section. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying content like this. Me and Stephen will be back again tomorrow for another episode of MBE Movie News and also the Blog Rundown.